Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Through the night, deep in the heart of Texas, the trailer park is nice and dark. Deep in the heart of Texas, Ted drinks his brew and he spits his chew. Deep in the heart of Texas, the TV blares but no one cares. Deep in the heart of Texas, here we go.
Hey there, everybody! Welcome to Bois King of the Hill podcast. I am Mike,
and I'm Rusty.
Rusty. We are season 3, episode 20, Dogdale Afternoon.
Dogdale Afternoon. Yeah, this one's kind of crazy. It
is nuts.
It's a little nuts.
It makes references to a couple of really serious things.
Yeah, for sure.
So this the title in general is a reference to the film and the book before that, Dog Day Afternoon. Dog Day Afternoon was 1975. It starred Al Pacino. Mm-hmm. It was directed by Sidney Lumet.
Okay.
3 amateur bank robbers plan to hold up a bank. A nice, simple robbery. They walk in, take the money, and run. Unfortunately, the supposedly uncomplicated heist suddenly becomes a bizarre nightmare as everything could go wrong does.
Oh, wow.
It's a hostage thing. It's between the cops and him. And
I actually have a little bit of information.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mason, is this not the movie where he shouts Attica, that thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
in the
that
courtroom?
Movie. Yeah, that's that movie. Yeah.
Well, it's not in the courtroom. It's in the middle of the street.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Sorry.
So me and Mason, before we started recording, were discussing. So there was an episode titled, what was the title? The John Vitti title?
John Vitti, The Return to La Grunta.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that was the one we were questioning why it was titled that.
So go ahead and tell us real quick, Mason.
I have an idea on why it was called that, because that was apparently this was his. I don't know if it was his first time working on the show. It was his first episode where that he'd written for the show.
Well,
he'd
guess
written
what?
for a bunch of stuff beforehand, The Simpsons. And
If that was the first one, I think this one
Is the second,
is
yeah.
his second.
Yeah.
So this would be
I
the
think
second
they just
John
thought
Vitti.
it was funny to title it that because maybe the guy didn't want credit or something like that. I think it was just like, look, we're just going to call it that.
Or he was so narcissistic that he wrote a
doubt
show
it's
and then put the title as John Vitti Presents.
I doubt that very
King of the
seriously.
Hill.
No, I think I like Mike's idea more. Who wants to be known as the guy who wrote the episode where a man gets molested by a dolphin?
It's true. That's true. Okay, so we start this one, no bell, no yell. We start right into the credits, so there's no preview scene or cold open. We start with Hank in the garage. He's sorting screws, and then you can hear Dale kind of futzing over next door, yelling at his mower, apparently. But Hank is sorting screws. He's just doing stuff at his workbench. And then he puts on his goggles to hang up a drill and then takes off his goggles.
Yeah, as soon as he hangs it up. Yeah.
That's how careful he is. He opens an Alamo beer, and then you hear Dale over the fence saying, "Come on, baby, turn over. You can do it. Turn over, baby. Come on. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah.
And then finally, over the fence, he goes, Hank, my mower won't start. Mind if I borrow yours? Hank says, well, almost turned over, didn't she? And he goes, yeah, she was teasing me. He goes, you didn't try to start it, Dale. There were no engine noises. Which
Well, that's what I'm surprised
good ears, Hank.
that Hank's mower would be in a state of disrepair.
No. It's Dale's mower.
Oh, Dale's mower. Yeah,
Dale's
yeah,
not even trying
My
to
bad.
start
yeah,
it.
Dale's mower
And
is,
we find
okay, I
out,
got you.
and we find out later that the mower's not even there. He goes, you didn't try to start it, Dale. There were no engine noises. He goes, I'll try to start it. Can I borrow some gas? He goes, don't waste my gas. We both know it's not going to start. He goes, then why must you torture me like this? Talking to Hank. He goes, now that's where I want to take. That's where I want the tank when it comes back. He's literally measuring the tank full of gas, marking a line on a stick so that he can measure it when he brings it back to him to make sure it's as full as it needs to be.
Yeah.
Like he's a freaking U-Haul rental place
Well,
or
he
something.
is. He's Hank Hill.
He measures it and then he goes with gas, not water this time. And Dale says that was Aquahol. So I'm assuming that's an invention of Dale's where it's part water, part gasoline.
Yeah.
No, not even gas. It's probably water
It's
and
probably
Alamo.
just water and Alamo.
Yeah.
And then as he takes the friggin' mower out, which if I was Hank at this point, I'd say, screw you. You can't borrow my mower.
Nah,
You're
you
just
can't
gonna
borrow
screw
the
it
mower.
up. But he runs over a damn inflated soccer ball on the way out. I mean, he just
No
doesn't
concern.
care.
Yeah, no concern for other people's
Does not
property.
care. So now we're at Jack's barbershop where Hank is in the chair getting a haircut, which I'm assuming is either a weekly or bi-weekly event for him. And he's telling a story to the whole barbershop. He goes, so I tapped him on the shoulder and said with a straight face, maybe you want to put a little lacquer in that varnish. All the other guys laugh. Yeah. He goes, long story short, he put some lacquer in it. Then you hear a lawnmower engine. And he goes, wait a minute, I know that engine. And across the street, we see Dale going through a fast food drive-through on Hank's mower.
I'm pretty sure it's Whataburger.
Yeah, it probably is Whataburger. And Hank gets up. He's, damn it, Dale. And he gets up with the.
Damn it, Dale.
And maybe you guys can help me with this. I should have asked Brittany, who cuts hair here in the building. And this is from a lack of sleep that I can't think of this word. I said he gets up with the hair tarp on.
A hair tarp? A do-rag? Isn't that what a hair tarp
No,
is?
man, he's wearing the thing that you put on whenever you get a haircut. What do you call that?
Oh,
Why are you looking at me?
does it have a name?
Poncho?
I don't
Poncho.
know.
What's it called? Poncho.
An apron?
I mean, hair tarp?
I would call it an apron. I don't know. You talking about the thing that they put on you when you get your hair cut so you don't get hair all over you?
I was up very
I thought it was an
late
apron.
with a grandbaby and my brain not worked so well. So
a hair rag.
I said hair tarp.
A hair tarp. There you go.
So
everybody.
he looks in the mirror and Jack says to him, Hank, I'm only halfway done. You can't go out there looking like that. And he looks in the mirror and goes, oh, like it's just so terrible.
And
It
he
just-
looks the same.
It looks exactly the same. Yeah. You can't go out there looking like that. So now we're back at the Hill House, which I love the fact that it's called the Hill House. And Hank is just hammering nails into a piece of wood. And he keeps checking his watch because he's waiting for that damn mower to come back. Dale comes up and goes, hey, I'm going to borrow your drill. He says, well, where's my mower? He goes, oh, so you want to know where your mower is? Hank says, yes. He goes, oh, ran out of gas past the gas station. I'll help you pick it up tomorrow. Just does not give a shit.
No, he didn't care at all.
Hank says, you're not touching my mower ever again. You left it out in the street where any weirdo could just rub up against it.
Yeah, that's silly line.
Dale says, Hank, what would weirdos be doing near the gas station? What would weirdos be doing near the gas station?
That's exactly where they would be.
Hank has that damn
I've
nail.
met more weirdos at a gas station than I think I
Oh.
have anywhere else on earth.
No kidding. He's got that nail board in his hand, kind of swinging it around.
You're not on Reddit enough.
That's true. That's the internet's gas station.
Yeah, there
Reddit.
you go.
And so,
And then what's 4chan then? The internet sewer? Is it like the
That's
sewer behind the gas
4chan
station?
is the internet's underpass.
Oh, there you go.
yeah, there you go.
Underneath the bridge.
That's where Josh hangs out. $4 Josh.
Yeah, that's right here. Handskis.
So the next thing we see is Hank and Bobby pulling up to the filling station, and Hank's like, "Oh my God, what does it say?" It says nothing, but the mower is there, parked at the gas station. Bobby is very confused as to what's going on, but it says "Wash me." Somebody's put "Wash me" on the mower.
And then Hank's like,
oh
don't
my
look.
God. Can you
Oh.
even imagine?
yeah. Don't even look.
So they bring it back, and Dale says, I didn't finish mowing my yard. And Bill says, don't even ask if you can borrow my mower, Dale, as Hank pulls it up, because we're in the alley now with 3 out of the 4. Hank is pulling his mower back in. And Dale says, like I'd even borrow that piece of junk. Boomhauer, can I borrow your mower? Yeah, I tell you what, man, loan you my Monopoly. Say you came back, dang old Top Hat's gone, Boardwalk got mustard stained, Park Place too. Man, dang old mom came over, had played Stratego, man. Just love that he brought up Stratego. And Dale says, Bill, can I borrow your mower? He goes, okay. Just after he just told him, you can't ever borrow. Okay. He goes, like I'd borrow that piece of junk. It's just so mean. Now, next thing we see is Dale looking at his yard. It's nighttime, and you can see there's one little patch that's been mowed with the damn mower, and that's it. There's some old people walking down the street, and he looks up at him and goes, what are you looking at? The old lady goes, your fly is down. He goes, it's my yard.
It's my yard.
I can have my fly down in my yard. We're back in the alley with Hank, Bill, and Boomhauer, and we get a yep, mm-hmm. And then Bill says, Dale probably doesn't want to show his face, his lawn being so shaggy and all. He's feeling like less than a man, castrated, you know. I've been there. Wait, what, Bill? You've been castrated?
Bill.
What? And Hank says, well, I don't feel sorry for Dale. Dale abused our trust. Bill says, oh, my God. Can it be? Is that? No, Dale on a new mower? Here comes Dale riding down the street on a brand new mower. Shiny-ass mower.
And it's like
He's
reminiscent of a John
lights
Deere. It
and-
looks
yeah.
like a big old John Deere.
But it's a
called an
Mason.
Allegro. A Mason Allegro.
Yeah, it's a Mason. He says, say hello to the Allegro X9J, codenamed Redeemer, at the Mason Mower Skunk Works inside Mount Hood.
Mount Hood.
That sounds very conspiracy theory to me, inside the Skunk Works at Mount Hood. He says 73 decibels, a twin barrel 4-stroke war cry, all at a price I can't really afford.
And then he laughs.
He does. He laughs about it. Hank says, she's a beauty, Dale. Did you get a good trade in on your old one? That thing, I pushed it into a lake 3 months ago. So even when he was telling Hank he was trying to start the damn thing wasn't even there. So
Yeah, he wouldn't even worry about it.
Bill says, you look so manly sitting up there. Can I take her for a spin? Dale says, I'm pretty sure that you'd violate the warranty, Bill. Oh, come on, Dale. You used Hank's mower and everything. And then he immediately runs over their six-pack, and it goes everywhere. Now we are watching Dale spray engine sealant into his mower engine.
Yeah.
He goes, that is a watertight seal. I can mow my lawn in a hurricane. Can you mow your lawn in a hurricane, Bill? I don't know. You can't mow your lawn in a hurricane. Can you, Boomhauer? Tell you what, man.
Positive traction going on, a little chokehold man started bullcorn.
Bullcorn. Oh, almost forgot. Hank, can you mow your lawn in a hurricane? Nope, didn't think so. Ha! And he's saying all this as his garage door is going down, and he's shutting all three of them out. It's Dale at his finest, being an ass.
Oh yeah, wild.
Yeah. Now we see. Okay, this is really weird to me, and I guess it's not because we know that Dale sets this kind of stuff up. But the next scene we see is his brand new mower sitting outside of his house with a sign, a hand painted sign on it that says "Honor System, do not touch."
Yeah.
And then we follow that sign, or the string that's attached to the mower, down to Dale's basement, where we find that it has a rifle. Pointed
a pellet rifle.
Well, we don't know that at first.
We don't know that at first.
We see a rifle on a stand, and the string goes all the way down to the trigger on the rifle.
Yeah,
And so he's just waiting for anybody to touch his mower.
Yeah, he's got a little redneck security system set up.
And he's going to shoot him, which is nuts. He says,
I don't know. You know, in Texas,
but it's outside. He had it in the garage.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
He could have put it up. He doesn't have to have it sitting in the front yard by the window.
Excuse you can get for someone to get shot.
I just think it's a weird
That's
place
true.
to keep your mower, like right underneath your bedroom window.
Right under your bedroom window with a sign that says "Honor System, do not touch."
Well, more accurately, your wife's bedroom window.
That's
At
true.
the very least, sleep in
That's
separate
true.
beds at this point still.
So
Whether he sleeps in whether he sleeps or not, that's the question. I think he sleeps in the chair in the basement.
I think he
like
does
he just
too.
is doing his weird stuff, and then she comes down and throws a blanket on him and just leaves him there so she could bang John Redcorn all night.
Speaking of John Redcorn,
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
While we're watching this rifle and everything, we see that, or we hear that Dale is on the phone with some sort of mail order catalog, and he goes, "How do I know it's Jack Ruby's hat?" Well, if I'm gonna spend money on it, I got to know it's Jack Ruby's hat. All right. What colors does it come in? Okay, Dale. That
I had a
you
little
just
tidbit on Jack
violated
Ruby real
everything you
fast.
said. Yeah.
So the
go for
Jack
it.
Ruby tidbit that I have. So since we're talking about conspiracy theories and we have a conspiracy theorist character that we're kind of discussing at the moment.
Yeah.
Real
It's a
quick,
s-
before I just want to take a quick guess.
Go ahead.
I'll let you do that. Quick guess as to who Jack Ruby is. He's a guy who shot somebody, right? I'm
You
guessing.
got it.
Yeah, you're right.
He shot
he
Mason
shot.
for the
Reagan.
3-pointer.
No, he didn't shoot Reagan.
Nixon?
No, he didn't shoot any president.
Nixon.
So what happened is
Nixon.
Obama.
No.
In the foot.
Kennedy got shot by Lee Harvey Oswald.
In the library with
in
a
the
pipe.
library with a pipe. Oh, so he gets shot by Lee Harvey Oswald in the book depository with a Mosin, I think is what he
Yeah.
had, a 30-06.
Yeah.
Well, he
Oh, was-
kills Kennedy.
Oh,
he
was Jack
goes.
Ruby the guy who killed
He's the
Oswald?
guy who
Yeah.
ends up shooting Oswald. Okay,
He was
it gets-
also a patsy. is
yeah,
what
it gets
people think.
this is where the conspiracy theory sets in. Okay, so Jack Ruby, whenever he was being evaluated for a psych eval
Yeah.
by a psychologist at the jail, the psychologist declared him clinically insane.
Sure.
Well, everybody thought it was so weird because his family had visited him a bunch before this.
He was also in the Teamsters, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't he in the
he was a
Teamsters Union?
Teamster. He was a
Yeah.
part of like the mob a little bit.
Yeah.
He was
This is
attached
about
to the
the
mob.
same time as the one that went missing, Jimmy Hoffa.
Which Mob and Kennedy, you can go back and look at
Yeah,
some of their ties
sure,
to the mob
sure.
too. But Jack
Well,
Ruby,
also Marilyn Monroe and the mob.
Marilyn Monroe
Yeah.
too. Yeah, there's a lot of a mob affiliation with the Kennedys and stuff like that. But Jack Ruby, so he's declared clinically insane. The big thing about this is him being clinically insane. The psychiatrist that was in the room with him was a CIA agent who was attached to the MK Ultra program. The MK Ultra program was a
That's where
was a
everybody
te-
starts is the MK Ultra program, and then you can start fanning out, and you get to the Jack Ruby stuff. You get JFK, aliens,
If
you
I'm
get
right,
everything.
Wasn't MK Ultra where they brought over the Nazis, or was that?
No. Let me finish. So MK Ultra was a CIA program where they wanted to figure out how to do mind control and how to make like sleeper operatives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they dosed college kids with LSD, heavy doses of LSD, like something you wouldn't use recreationally, like way high dosages of them. And so whenever they were doing that, so Jack Ruby went insane. He was talking about all kinds of crazy stuff and all that up until the point where he died of cancer. So the cancer or whatever they say too, they say that they pretty much killed him and that he didn't die of cancer. That was just the cause of death that they gave just as a justification for his death. But so yeah, Jack Ruby was supposedly a government whatever, and then they shot him up with a bunch of LSD so he wouldn't be able to tell on him. You know what I mean? So he wouldn't be able to reveal what was going on, that kind of thing. So they kind of warped his mind, and then he goes on and dies. So he wasn't ever able to tell in court. He wasn't able to tell his story in court. So because he was declared clinically insane before the whole court process of why he shot Lee Harvey Oswald ever began. So they say that Lee Harvey Oswald was the patsy to kill Kennedy, and then Jack Ruby was the patsy to shut the guy up that killed Kennedy.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a whole spider web.
And they say Kennedy's son is still alive.
Talking about LSD, I want to tell you about something I ran across yesterday.
Yeah.
I thought ketamine was an illegal substance.
No, it's actually a legal substance, and they use it as a therapy too. So
I didn't
it's,
realize that in 1999 it was classified as a type 3, a Schedule 3 non-narcotic. So it's currently being used for medical stuff. But anyway, I ran across this thing where they give you these small doses of ketamine to treat depression and
any psychedelic
all these
too.
other things.
It's not just ketamine they're doing it with; they're doing
Right.
it with
But I just-
psilocybin, mushrooms, and everything.
I just thought it was weird though that like I came across it on
Yeah.
like freaking Instagram or something. It was
Yeah.
like, hey, you want to try
There's
some
an
ketamine?
advertising. You're
Do
talking
it.
about the sponsored
Yeah.
ad, right? Yeah. There's a sponsored ad that comes down
crazy.
my feed on Facebook. I've seen it on there, and it talks about a ketamine program for therapy, therapeutic reasons. Well, that's the thing is right now they're doing a lot of it's the reason why some states are now legalizing mushrooms and stuff
Sure.
like that
Yeah.
is because they're starting to use
Colorado.
them. Colorado. They're starting to use them for therapies and stuff for people who are depressed. Not only that, they're using it for therapy to help people who are alcoholics and all kinds of
I've
stuff
seen it.
because
All
they
kinds of
say
stuff,
that it gets to the root of the problem. You know what I mean?
Well, it's supposed to
helps
start
get to the root cause.
regrowing brain cells and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
it's crazy. Maybe it does. Well, just for a fun fact, Mount Sinai, and anybody can you could correct me on this if I'm wrong. Mount Sinai has some of the highest collection of psychedelic like plants.
Really?
That's around Mount Sinai.
That makes total
So
sense.
they say that the burning bush, the tablets,
It was
and all
all
that
just
stuff.
seen.
They
Yeah,
say
this-
that
it was a vision
the
or
people that
whatever,
wrote
yeah.
that were probably just
Yeah.
tripping balls on some DMT that they had
Wow.
ate out of these plants or whatever it
crazy.
was.
So as we see the gun and we hear him talking about it on the catalog, we hear the gun pop. And he's like, "Ha! Gotcha."
Well, hold on. There's a funny joke before that. He goes, "I got to know it's Jack Ruby's hat."
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then he goes, "All right, what colors does it come in?"
Right,
So
like
he's
it's
not
multiples.
even buying
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
exact
it's
hat. He's just
multiples,
buying a
So the gun pops. He's thrilled. He looks outside, and we see John Redcorn crawling over the mower into Nancy's window, which should be 100% Redcorn is screwing my wife. But instead, he goes, "Next time, it might not be a BB. I know what you're here for." Redcorn goes, "Dale, this isn't how I wanted you to find out." He goes, "Quit screwing around with my mower." You got to be kidding. He goes, "I don't kid about my mower. Now get inside and start massaging my wife."
Wait, I want to say this last one. I want to say this last part.
Yeah. This is Redcorn talking to Nancy after Dale tells him to get in there and start massaging her.
He's taking a lot of the fun out of this.
That was good.
Yeah, he is.
Deadpan.
Red
Good
Corn
job.
is getting off on the affair.
By the way, did I tell you guys I am wearing my my little Sebastian shirt today
I see that.
from Parks and Rec. Again, Mason, I told you how wonderful my wife is. She has just recently been introduced to Parks and Rec by me and one of our kids. We were watching it, and the little Sebastian concert came on. And so we were singing along to it. And so she went online immediately and ordered me a T-shirt,
Oh,
which
that's
is
funny.
just as fantastic.
That's sweet. Yeah.
But
So she's blowing all your money.
she's blowing. Well, yeah. No, it's fantastic. She's the best. If she ever listens to this, she will not. I want to make sure that people know she's the best. But
Only because she's listening to it does he want you to know that.
the little Sebastian thing brings up. They bring in the Wamapoke Indians to kind of bless the place before the big fall fest that they're having goes on.
Yeah.
And the guy who comes in is the voice of John Redcorn, same guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the main Wamapoke Indian there. And he does this blessing ceremony where he just speaks in gibberish and gets all the white
I think
people
his
to just
name
buy
is Jonathan Joss.
Yeah,
The guy you're talking about, right?
Yeah. It was great because when I saw him, I was like, ooh, I wonder, because some of these people cross over in this stratosphere, with Parks and Rec and King of the Hill and all that stuff, The Office and all that. A lot of these
Some
people.
only do voice, some do voice
Yeah.
and live action.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also producers, writers, all of that stuff. They're all in the same area. And
Yeah, he's the one I
him.
tried to get for the show,
Yeah.
and he said, "I charge a fee for podcast. Please email with brief description of show, time frame, and budget."
Yeah, you need to send him back a budget.
That's what I'm going to do. Well, he gave me an email for
$1.50.
his management, so I'm thinking about emailing his management and being like, "Hey, my budget is a handful of acorns.
$1.50.
What can you do for me?"
Fit him in. I tell you what, I'll go on the record and say I'll give $50. How about that?
Okay.
$50.
I'll
That's
put
our
$50
budget.
in. So I'll
$50.
tell him our budget is $100 and see what happens.
Sounds great.
They're
We're
probably
getting-
saying, "We'll give you 5 minutes of his time."
We'll give you 5. Hey, I'll take 5 minutes for
take
$100.
5
That'd
minutes.
be great.
I just need him to say some John Redcorn quotes, and we'll
I just
leave
need
it
him
at
to
that.
say he's taking some of the fun out of this. So now the next thing is we're in Hank's backyard. We are Hank's on the mower. Bill is standing next to him with a beer. He goes, "If Dale watered down that gas again," and Bill has the fuel line, and he's looking at
sucking
it,
on it.
and he goes, "Nope, this is soda pop, Hank." And he sucks on the damn fuel line to
Yeah,
find
sucks the
out.
soda out.
And then he licks it one more time and goes, "Oh, that's just grease." What is wrong with Bill?
There's lots wrong with Bill.
Does he have a mental deficiency of some sort?
Well, I think you would, in his defense, I think he would know that you're leaking like grease or oil if you just You just know by tasting
But this one's, I mean, he
Yeah.
tasted it and then goes, that's just grease.
He tasted it.
I mean, oh, gross, Bill.
well, my dad being a mechanic most of my life,
Yeah.
I've seen him I don't know how many times I've seen him like doing something with the fuel
Yeah,
line.
yeah, you
and
gotta- yeah,
tasting
yeah,
the gas.
sure.
It's like, that's
Yeah,
bad gas.
I get
I'm
it.
like, why are you eating gas?
Yeah, stop eating gas. And so Dale drives up on his mower. He goes, race you around the block. Hank says, you wrecked my mower with your damn soda. He goes, and then Bill comes
Drinking
back
it
and goes,
again.
it's Mr. Pibb.
Yeah.
He knows, the thing that kills me, he knows Mr. Pibb from Dr. Pepper, and he
Yeah.
knows that this is Mr. Pibb.
Oh, I do too. You know what Mr. Pibb is? They label it as spicy cherry flavored soda.
It's spicy Dr. P.
Well, because that's what Dr. Pepper is supposed to be, is like a spicy cherry flavor.
I don't like Dr. Pepper. I'm sorry.
You mean they used
I actually
to
do.
label it the spicy cherry cola?
Yeah.
Now it's just extra if you can find it.
Yeah, for sure.
So he
Oh, I like this part right
he goes,
here.
it's
So-
Mr. Pibb, and Dale goes, I heard Bobby say he did it. Said he
Yeah.
had a score to settle with you. Something about a woman.
Yeah. Which I
Hank
don't know who they're
says-
beefing over. I
Hank-
guess it's Peggy.
Hank
Would Peggy
says-
be who they're beefing over?
Hank says to Bill, I think something bad's about to happen to that mower. Bill, of course, not being clued in, says, oh, I don't think so, Hank. It's a brand new mower. Oh, I get it. He goes, Hank says, all right, I'll tell you. He goes, oh, thank you, Hank. Like he had no idea what the hell he was talking about. Next thing we see is Dale in the shower. Dear God, he has a Mason soap on a rope. Do you remember soap on a rope? You ever see a soap on a rope in the wild?
I've never seen a soap on the rope in the wild, but the rumor for soap in the rope is
Yeah.
the jail thing.
Right.
where
So you don't drop it.
You don't drop
Don't
the
drop
soap,
the soap.
which isn't a real
Hangs
thing.
around your neck.
Yeah, which isn't a real thing.
Oh, that's a real thing. And then he also still has his Mason hat on in the shower. And he gets out and puts on his pants and has a Mason belt buckle. So he is all in on this Mason that he can't afford. And he's singing, because once you ride a Mason, broom, broom, nothing else cuts it. He says, he looks in the mirror, he's getting dressed, puts that belt on and goes, you going to talk or you going to mow? It kind of harkens back to Taxi
That's
Driver,
funny.
where
Are
it's,
you gonna talk or
are you
gonna
talking to
mow?
me?
Yeah.
He-
Talking to me?
He goes outside, realizes that the mower is not there. Everything is in kind of disrepair. He finds a note that says, we have your mower. And it very much looks like the note that says the answer is in the tapes, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
Also,
it's
it reminds me of The Bodyguard.
yeah.
Whenever
Yeah.
they were Rachel was her name, I guess, in that movie, but Whitney Houston was getting all the little weird letters.
And then he can't believe that he can't find his mower. He pulls out his keys and pushes the little unlock chirp chirp thing.
And then he's
And
like,
nothing happens, and then he's
melts
like,
down again.
ah! And that is a commercial break. Hey guys, it's Mike from Bois. I wanted to remind you just real quick of our official, unofficial meeting place. That is Hotel Arlen. So head over to Twitter and look up at Hotel Arlen. They are not that kind of hotel anymore. Please leave a post, follow, like, subscribe, whatever they ask you to do on Twitter at this point. And if you wanted to, you could also include hashtag Hotel Arlen and hashtag BWAAKOTH. Thanks.
This is Rusty Shackelford for Dale's Dead Bugs. If you've got problems with silverfish, problems with cockroaches, or raccoons, call Dale's Dead Bug Service. Tell them Rusty Shackelford sent you.
And we are back. By the way, we took a small restroom break during that, and I did not realize. You can always tell I've been working on King of the Hill when you see that I have marker stains all over my hands.
The ink spot.
Yeah, because I take these highlighters and I highlight everybody's voice on the page, and as I'm holding them, I invariably just get it all over my hands.
Yeah.
Like a
Can't avoid
third
it.
grader.
Can't avoid it.
Yeah, I do that, and then I eat a little paste, and I feel better about myself. So we come back from commercial break, and Dale's mower is a-missing. And Hank is kind of he's there covering. You know that Hank's taking the mower because he's covering it with a tarp in his garage. Here comes Dale. Hank, my mower's gone. Somebody stole my mower. Tell me you saw something. You're the neighborhood snoop. Hank says, well, I did find these laying around, and he shows him basically what are hostage pictures of his mower, right? He's got
basically.
Yeah. They are looking at the pictures out in the alley now with all 4 of them. And we see 4 different pictures. We see a mower with the paper and like a newspaper, like a hostage photo. And he says, look at the date on that paper. That's tomorrow's newspaper. Who would have access to a paper from the future, you might ask? The paper boy.
The paper boy.
Hank says, that's today's paper, Dale. He goes, the date on my watch has been set incorrectly. When did the paper boy have access to my watch? It's probably halfway to Mexico, because the next one we see a couple of photos. We see one with the mower on the railroad tracks, like it's going to get hit by a train.
Yeah.
The next one we see is somebody's hairy ass on the mower. So that's a wonderful one. We find out that that's Bill's ass.
Bill's
And then
ass.
the fourth one, and my favorite, we see a dog that we've never seen before. A big shaggy dog with a sombrero with little tassels all the way around it, sitting on the mower.
I thought that was kind of weird. That's not something we've seen yet. Yeah.
And he says, it's probably halfway to Mexico. That's a Mexican dog.
That's a Mexican dog.
Bill, very stiffly, because he's in on the joke, says, oh, do you think that dog did it? That dog is up to no good. It's wonderful. Hank says, hang in there, Dale. Even if you never get to see your mower again, you still have the brochure. Dale says, thanks. You guys are my best friends, and goes home. All of them are kind of giggling, and Bill says, joke's always been on me. All my life, folks were always playing jokes on me, and no wonder, it's fun. And then he kind of chuckles a little bit, and he goes, this isn't some kind of elaborate joke on me, is it? He's still worried that people are getting him, which is a little sad. Next, we see Dale down in his basement. He's looking at photos with a magnifying glass. He sees a photo of a footprint and all this stuff. He's trying to crack the case of who stole his mower. Nancy comes down, and she goes, I found this on our doorstep. She brings him like a box. He opens the box, and he goes, oh, it's my oil filter. Nancy says, Shug, I'm not a licensed bounty hunter, but shouldn't they either ask for a ransom or stop sending you clues? He says, why would someone senselessly torture me unless they were my enemies? Boil up some Mountain Dew. It's going to be a long night. Boil up some Mountain Dew.
So that's where the ever famous boil some Mountain Dew comes in.
He puts on his rubber gloves.
Did I miss the joke where? Did I miss it?
Which one?
No, I don't think I missed it yet.
All right.
No, I haven't missed it yet.
She's going to boil up some Mountain Dew because it's going to be a long night. He puts on his big yellow rubber gloves and he gets busy.
Oh, actually, I did miss it. My favorite joke of this whole episode is when he's standing in his front yard and they see the fly open.
Yeah.
Have we already hit that joke?
The old people?
Yeah. We already did that.
It's my yard. So next we see Bobby Hill pulling into the garage with his bike. He sees the mower under the tarp. He takes a look at it. He goes inside and tells his mom, Dad's a thief. Mom, can I check his drawers for that Hot Wheels I lost?
Yeah, I laughed. I busted out laughing on that one. That was another funny joke.
Peggy, as Hank walks into the room, says, Hank, Bobby tells me we have a new vehicle in the garage. Maybe you'd like to explain to your son why you stole your best friend's mower? He's a little caught off guard, and he goes, well, you see, Bobby, this isn't stealing. We were going to give it back after we made Mr. Gribble. Sometimes things that are jokes seem a little mean, but they're actually funny. And Bobby says, oh, I see. Kind of like when they fed the 4th grade gerbil to the 5th grade snake. He said, no, Bobby, this is fun.
No.
It's not mean or dishonest. But don't tell Joseph, okay?
Yeah.
Peggy goes over to the sliding glass doors. She opens it up because they're in the living room. She goes, Bobby, honey, go play outside. Your father and I have something to discuss. Bobby runs out. As soon as she shuts the glass door, she runs over and goes, all right, we can use Photoshop to make it look like Lee Harvey Oswald's riding on his mower. So Peggy, again, being an asshole. Here she is. The next thing we see is a picture of Lee Harvey Oswald, that famous picture where he's getting shot and he's all like crimped
seized up. Yeah,
but he's sitting on
back
Dale's
of the jail.
Yeah, but he's sitting on Dale's mower. And Hank says, you been sleeping, Dale? You got that kind of county fair smell, which I know exactly what he's talking about with the county fair smell.
It smells like hay and sweat.
Dale looks rough. He's sweaty all over. His hair's all messed up, which he doesn't even have that much hair.
Nah,
his
not at all.
shirt is tucked in, but not tucked in at the same time. I mean, he looks rough, and he is freaking over this mower thing. He goes, check it out. It's finally making sense. Oswald Mower Grassy Knoll, huh? Hank says, that photo doesn't even look real, Dale. He goes, well, I'd like to live in your fairy tale world, Hank, but the fairy tale play for Cuba Committee is retrofitting my mower's engine to power Fidel Castro's one-man escape sub.
His one-man escape sub.
He goes, huh.
He's a nutcase.
Dale, why don't you relax? Have a beer. No beer. Got to stay sharp. And then he just kind of wanders off. Bill, kind of chuckling to himself, goes, he's going crazy. Boomhauer says, yeah, man, tell you, man, that dang old Margot Kidder, man, wandering around the dang old cardboard box. Weet, weet. All right, let's talk about Margot Kidder.
Margot Kidder, she was the actress who played Lois Lane in the 30s the 70s, right? Yeah,
70s and 80s. Yep.
It was the 70s and 80s.
Superman.
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeve. Uh-huh.
Well, wasn't his dad the original Superman in the 40s? Because there was two. There was.
I don't know about that. I don't think so. But
I do think so.
She is the one that played Lois Lane.
Yeah, she played Lois Lane.
That he spun the world backwards for to change time.
Yeah. Spun the whole world backwards.
By the way, just while we're talking about the Superman movie from, I believe, 1978, maybe as late as 80, my parents took me out of 5th grade to go see the Superman movie at the 25th Street Theater.
Oh, okay.
It was a one theater or a one screen theater, beautiful little theater we had downtown here. I was in class and they came to the door and my teacher came over and said, Mike, you've got to go. And I literally thought somebody had died or something. I thought something terrible had happened. I got out to the car and my dad goes, hey, you want to go see Superman? I was like, fuck yeah,
Hell yeah, I'd rather be watching Superman than be at school.
Oh yeah.
I think I don't think I had any experience like that. My stepmom did stay up with me to go see Avengers at midnight.
Oh, that's cool.
Midnight release.
Yeah, that's excellent.
That was fun.
Oh, okay. So I was kind of correct. So the TV show, The Adventures of Superman from 1938, the guy who played Superman was called George Reeves.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I'm not sure if there's any relation, honestly.
I don't think so, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Christopher Reeve was not a guy I would have picked for Superman, but he did a great job. And I remember those movies just being some of my favorites. Superman 2 is one of my favorites anyway, because he fights the people in the glass floating around and Zip. What's
You're going to make me angry if you don't actually know his name.
Zorg, Zip, Zop.
Zod.
There we go. See, I was close.
Zod.
I was in the same neighborhood.
Oh wow! Okay, so that's
Mason's
the common
just shaking his
so the common
disapproving head at me.
misconception is between
I'm the
these
wrong guy
two.
to make that joke.
So the reason why these two are most commonly the two Supermans, George Reeves and Christopher Reeve, is because the S. So some people think they're
those are the
related
two most
sometimes,
common,
so,
though. Yeah, I remember watching the black and white Superman, like in syndication or whatever when it would come on. It was terrible. But at the time, it was fantastic. And
terribly good.
It actually came from the radio show that they originally did. So it used to be a radio show, and I believe George Reeves is the same guy who played Superman on the radio show.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
I think he did the radio too. Yeah.
So he tells him to relax. He says, I can't relax. I got to go get this thing done. Still on the mower. And then they talk about Margot Kidder. And we started talking about Margot Kidder. She's the one that played Lois Lane. She went kind of nuts.
Yeah, from what I read, yeah.
She hid in a bush for a day or something.
No, it was. I'll read the story. So it was like 3 days that she was in the bushes.
Shaved her head.
So let's not shaved her head, like cut her hair with a razor blade. So it says right here that in 1996 she experienced a widely publicized manic episode in L.A. Apparently she had been working on an autobiography when her laptop computer became infected with a virus and caused it to crash, and she lost 3 years worth of autobiography drafts.
Wow.
Around that time, they said that she had flown to California to have her computer examined by a data retrieval company. Well, they said, we're sorry, but we can't do anything. So she disappeared for 4 days. She was later found by a homeowner in the backyard of a Glendale residence, and then she was taken to Olive View UCLA Medical Center, and she was all distressed and stuff like that. So She said that it was a rape attempt, but there was no signs of it. But she had her teeth had been knocked out, her fillings, her caps or whatever had been knocked out, and they had put her in some psychiatric care, but they were unable to diagnose or whatever was wrong with her. But eventually she would kind of come out of it, and she would eventually she was a lead role in an independent comedy drama. Never heard of this movie, but it's called Never Met Picasso, where she portrayed an actress living with her gay adult son who was attempting to sort his life out.
What's that, about 86 to 89, somewhere in there?
97.
97, wow,
97,
okay. All right.
yeah.
Sorry, I was off by a decade.
So she had this manic episode where she just broke down and
she died at 69.
Cut her hair and death roll to suicide.
Yeah, because it was alcohol and drugs overdose. But she was just super depressed. The thing I remember most about Margot Kidder is in the Superman movie, where she in her head is talking to Superman as he flies her around in the city for the first time. Can you read my mind?
Here's the article from 1996, April 25th. 3 days after she was reported missing, the actress Margot Kidder was found dirty, frightened, and paranoid in bushes behind a suburban home. The 47-year-old Canadian actress has been known for playing Lois Lane in Superman movies and was in obvious mental distress. So, at the time of her discovery, she was wearing disheveled, cast-off clothing and apparently cut off all her own hair with a razor blade in an attempt to alter her appearance. They said she was covered in bruises and scratches, but the detective, the police sergeant, said that they were it was bruises and scratches from living in a bush. Yeah. She was taken to Olive View Medical Center for a 72-hour psychiatric evaluation. Family members expressed relief that they had found her. Investigators remained puzzled over her bizarre behavior, but ruled out drugs or alcohol as the cause. Yeah. So she wasn't on drugs or alcohol when they found her, and
no, she just had
clean.
A manic flip.
So it says here, Kidder, whose career had been in decline since her Superman days, had battled against health problems after being seriously injured in 1990 during the filming of a TV series. Her manager, John Blake, had said she had been scheduled to fly from L.A. to Arizona on Saturday to teach a class, but when she failed to show up at the airport, he filed a missing persons report. And then the police had got a call on Tuesday about a woman hiding behind a home on a fashionable street, whatever that means, dressed up really nice. Officers found Kidder there and described her as dirty, frightened, and paranoid. They thought she was homeless at first, and they said that it appeared that her two front teeth had been knocked out. Police denied it, saying her dental bridge was missing. So she was.
Well, that makes sense.
She just had her cheese slid off of her cracker, which I couldn't imagine the amount of stress that would cause. Yeah, you have this laptop with 3 years.
Well, especially
of work.
if you're vulnerable
I'd probably
to
go
that.
Nuts too. Honestly.
Yeah, especially if you're vulnerable to that kind of thing to begin with.
Yeah, you already have issues and stuff going on.
So
just imagine 3 years of work.
She was in all 4 of the Christopher Reeve Supermans.
Yeah, she was in there.
Yeah,
she was full
Superman 3. I don't know if anybody remembers. Was terrible. But there is a Mike Judge connection. Superman 3 had Richard Pryor in it, and he ran a scam where he would take like a little tiny bit of a penny out of each check, and he was making himself rich over that. So if you go to Mike Judge's office space, that's the same thing they set up. They even reference Superman 3 in it. Because they are trying to do the same thing where they're taking out small increments of these checks as they're deposited so that they can all get rich, and then they all get super worried about it because they're like, we're going to get caught. So Superman 3, Margot Kidder, all kind of 6 degrees of separation thing here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Margot Robbie, God dang, I'm sorry, Margot Robbie. You do a fine job in the Suicide Squad. Margot Kidder wandering around dang old curled up cardboard box wheat. I'm not sure what the wheat is for. Hank says, yeah, but I think we ought to give the mower back. We're putting extra stress on a structure that wasn't up to code in the first place. That is the best way I've ever heard Dale described.
Yeah.
You're putting stress on a structure that wasn't up to code in the first place. Let's tell him it was us. Bill says, well, that's easy for you to say. It's not your naked butt in that picture. So that's when we find out it is
that was Bill's
hairy ass in there. He goes, well, you took the money. He goes, well, still. That's a little rough.
Yeah, it's really, really, really rough.
Next thing we see, the basement again, but we're seeing the TV monitor that he's got placed outside the door.
Yep.
Nancy comes up to it. It's me, Shug, and you see her over the camera. Dale says, all right, let me buzz you in. And then literally just goes, like with his mouth. There's no real buzzer. There's no
buzzing noise. He just makes the noise, yeah.
I don't condone cheating, but Stuff like this.
I get it.
Like,
Yeah.
you get it.
That's all I'm thinking. Like when she's down here talking to him in this manic state he's in, I'm like, why are you still there? I don't
Because
understand.
she loves him. She really loves him. I just don't think it's.
Also,
I think she knows that if she's not there, that not necessarily that it would destroy him if she left him, but that fact that if she left him, who would make sure that he didn't just die?
Sure.
Also, where this happens a lot in Dale focused episode. Where the hell is Joseph?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said when they were
where's his son
at the
Yeah.
ponchos. Oh, wait. No, they were over there playing boxing. Never mind.
He must be staying the
That was
night
the
with
last
Bobby.
one.
Let's just assume he's at Bobby's house right now.
When they all gathered in the last episode to watch the VHS, no Joseph. So
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
they
know.
weren't. There was
I
no
don't know.
Joseph, yeah.
Joseph's off masturbating in a closet somewhere. Sorry for that. He goes,
So's Joseph.
and buzzes her in. Yeah, that shame's followed him the rest of his life. She says, shouldn't you get some sleep? He says, sleep? I've never felt so alive. This is where all the preparation pays off. He's trying to do pull-ups. He can't do any of those. He's over there punching the punching bag. He goes, the binging, the purging, the constant inoculations.
Yeah. Whatever that means, yeah.
The phone rings. He picks it up, not before he hits the tape recorder right next to it and starts recording every conversation. He goes, it's me. And all you hear over the phone are lawnmower sounds running, and you hear Bill giggling. You know it's Bill,
Yeah,
but
you know
he
it's
doesn't
Bill.
put two and two together. He goes, they know I'm getting close, and hangs up the phone. Nancy comes back and says, Shug, you got to get up early to kill the termite larvae at the college. You're not going to stay down here all night, are you? Time has no meaning for me. What is it, 1 a.m., 3 a.m.? It's 6 a. It's 6. He goes, a.m.? No. Oh, is dinner ready?
Yeah, is dinner ready? Yeah.
All right, we're back at the Hill House. We're outside of Peggy's office, quote unquote. And she comes out and goes, all right, I was gonna have Jane Fonda observing the autopsy. What do you think? Is that too much? The boy at Kinko's said it was too much. And she's showing a picture to Hank of the new picture she's made in Photoshop, which I wouldn't have said that Peggy could use Photoshop, but she now has a picture of the mower being autopsied like in Alien Autopsy, with several aliens standing around just looking at the mower.
Yeah.
So, Alien Autopsy. If anybody doesn't remember this came on Fox. It is a 17-minute black and white film supposedly depicting a secret medical examination or autopsy of an alien in the United States military. It was released in 1995 by London-based entrepreneur Ray Santilli. He presented it as authentic autopsy on the body of an alien recovered from the 1947 crash of flying disc near Roswell, New Mexico. The film footage was allegedly supplied to him by a retired military cameraman who wished to remain anonymous. In 2006, Santilli admitted the film was not authentic, but rather a staged reconstruction of footage he claimed to have viewed in 1992, but which had deteriorated and become unusable by the time he made this film. He claimed that a few frames of the original were embedded in the film, but he never specified which ones. The existence of an original film strip of the alleged autopsy has never been independently verified.
Oh, okay.
That is still one of those things that floats around, though, that people talk about. He did a fine job with that hoax. But it ended up with like an hour-long, 17-minute footage, by the way. But it ended up with like an hour-long special on Fox.
Just for
about
17
the footage.
minutes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. They know how to stretch something out.
they milk it, don't
definitely. Oh, boy, you ain't kidding. So next thing, we see Hank dropping off the mower with Nancy. It's got a big bow on it. And he's like, I want this all to be over. He goes, well, when he gets home, tell him it was a joke and the mower was comfortably lubricated at all times. Which,
Yeah.
as you get older, you'll understand that joke. She says, okay, I don't know why you'd want to fool Dale like that. I mean, it's not hard if you're somebody he trusts. But, hey, whatever turns you on, that's what I always say. That is the coldest thing I've ever heard Nancy say.
Coldest reply ever. It's
Because-
the coldest. Yeah, she just acts so cold.
She goes,
right
it's
here.
not hard to fool him if he trusts you. Dear God, Nancy, that's
Yeah,
rough.
Violate the man's trust.
We're back at the Hill House. Peggy's on the phone as Hank is coming through coming into the house. She says, you're going to have to speak clearer. All right, listen, whatever it is you're eating, Bill, take it out. Out. Take it out. Okay,
Yeah.
that's better.
Get it out of here.
Thank you. Hank, it's Bill. And she hands it to Hank, and he goes, hey, he says Dale's gone crazy. And then she just walks out of the room like this
Yeah,
is
she's
just something
gone.
that happens all the time.
Yeah, she's done dealing with it.
Now's when things get serious. Bill is on a payphone. He is outside of the junior college, and he's telling Hank, I was at the junior college playing some pinball with the boys. I don't know who the boys are. And
Yeah, I don't either.
Dale's up in the tower. He's up there with a gun.
I imagine he goes and hangs out with college kids at the
assuming.
quad or something because
Yeah.
he doesn't have anything better to do.
And he's got a sandwich in it. He's got like a sub in his hand the whole time, and he's talking to Hank on the phone here. It's so serious, but he can't do anything about it because he's got a sandwich in his hand. He says he's up there with a gun. Hank goes, I'll be right there. Don't call the police unless Dale starts shooting. He goes, okay. I already called the police. So now we're outside of the tower. It's a tower in the middle of campus here. It's at the junior college, and there's all these cops lining up, looking at Dale in the tower. I mean, shit's getting serious.
Yeah,
all of a
it's
sudden,
getting
right?
serious. It's getting serious quick and in a hurry.
Now, this is a homage to the University of Texas Tower shooting.
This whole scene,
Yeah.
You got some information about that?
Yeah, this was August 1st, 1966 at the University of Texas in Austin. Perpetrator, 25-year-old Marine veteran Charles Whitman indiscriminately fired at members of the public with both the main building tower and from the tower's observation deck.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and interrupt you real fast. So there's a trend in these shooters where you talk about Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yep.
You talk about the shooter here. They're Marines.
Yep.
And if you've ever seen,
Well, it goes back to that MK Ultra thing that you were talking about.
Yeah. But if you've ever seen, what's the Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
They mentioned that in that
This
movie.
is my gun. There are many like it. But
Yeah,
this
well,
is
no,
mine.
not at that. It's at the graduation
No, I
scene.
understand.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
I know
it's
what
my
you're saying.
favorite quote from
Yeah,
it.
I like that quote too. So at the graduation scene, he's naming off all these, prolific killers, and he's like, shot him from a school book
Yeah.
depository with an
Yeah.
open sight rifle in
Yeah.
a moving vehicle. He kind of describes a couple of the shootings, and he's like,
Yeah.
what do all those guys have in common? And then that guy raised his hand. And he's like, they're Marines. Yeah, and they were all Marine shooters.
It's crazy. It really is. When you start talking about MK Ultra and stuff, it really starts folding in on itself. Like
And
that
like the Lee Harvey
very
Oswald
easily.
thing goes even deeper because he was like a Russian citizen for like years and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah, they
it's-
thought he was a double agent and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of crazy stuff.
So this guy, Charles Whitman, he shot and killed 15 people, including an unborn child, and injured 31 others before he was killed by 2 Austin Police Department officers approximately 96 minutes after the first opening fire from the observation deck. Can you imagine what it's like for an hour and a half for a guy to be up there just sniping at people?
That's a long
that
time
is
for somebody
nuts,
to be
man.
up there. Well, it's hard to get him. I mean, it's hard to. That's a hard problem to fix. A guy
Yeah.
in a tower. How do you
Yeah.
shoot a guy in a tower? He has
Yeah.
all the advantages.
Well, it says prior to arriving to the University of Texas, Whitman had stabbed his mother and wife to death, in
Yep.
part to spare both women the embarrassment he believed the actions would cause them.
Yeah.
Although Whitman's autopsy revealed a pecan-sized tumor in the white matter above his how do you say that?
Let me see. I have to see the word spelled out.
Amygdala.
Yeah, whatever.
Amygdala.
Yeah, amygdala.
Sorry.
however you say it.
Yeah, I'm stupid. Amygdala, the tumor was not connected to any sensory nerves. Nonetheless, some experts believe this tumor may have contributed to the violent impulses which Whitman had been exhibiting for several years prior to the massacre. At the time, the University of Texas Tower shooting was the deadliest mass shooting by a lone gunman in U.S. history, being surpassed 18 years later by the San Ysidro McDonald's massacre, which I am not familiar
What about the
with.
Lubies? When there was a Lubies one in like
Yeah, but
Killeen
this
or
was,
Temple?
But this was so many people. Like when you start adding this thing up, he killed 15 and injured 31. So I mean, you're talking about 46 people over an hour and a half. I mean, that's a pretty good clip that you're shooting at people.
Okay, so yeah. So that was another one that was pretty bad. The Lubies one.
Yeah.
That was in '91.
Well, that's the one where they ran the
Killeen.
cars into it, right, or whatever.
No, he ran his. Well, yeah, he did. He ran his pickup truck through the front window,
Mm-hmm.
but then he shot and killed 23 people and wounded 27 others.
Yeah.
And then he had a shootout with the police, and then he shot himself. At the time, this was the deadliest mass shooting by a lone gunman in U.S. history.
Wow.
Being surpassed by the Virginia Tech.
So
It's an American phenomenon now.
it really is. As we're seeing this happen, all the cops are down there below the tower, and you hear one of the cops, clear the area, go, get some sharpshooters on the roof across the street now. And that's because they see a shadow of Dale smoking up in the tower with what looks to be, from what I'm seeing, a bug sprayer, but this guy assumes it's a gun. Dale is up there just spraying bugs. He's just killing those larvae.
He's killing bugs. He's not doing anything
he's
crazy.
killing those larvae.
He's actually calmed down a little bit, it looks like.
He really has. Hank says, where is he arrives in his little red truck with Peggy and Bobby. He gets out immediately. Where is he? He's still up in the tower? And the cop says, who? He goes, the sniper? He goes, he's not a sniper. He's my friend. Dale wouldn't shoot anybody. And then Bill being ever so helpful, says, but he is the president of the gun club. He goes, well, yeah, he is the president, but
I
only
didn't vote for him.
He goes, but only because he owns so many guns. He owns the most guns.
He owns the most guns.
The cop walks off.
It's not a good thing to tell a cop. Yeah.
And then here comes shitty Peggy again. She tells Hank as he walks by, she goes, yeah, it's all a big joke, isn't it? Until somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Damn it, Peggy. You're the one that made the photos. I mean, you're the one that contributed to all this
she was
shit.
actually, that was what Bobby Wasabi had said earlier. He said he didn't understand why she didn't pursue a career in Photoshop.
She's an asshole. That's why.
Yeah, she's an asshole.
We hear the cops over the megaphone now, or the PA, or whatever you want to call it. He goes, Mr. Gribble, we have the tower surrounded. Put down your gun. He looks down at all the cops with the guns pointed at him. He goes, it's just a wand. And then he mistakenly lights the bug spray on fire with his cigarette. He freaks out. He throws the whole backpack that's now engulfed in flames down on the ground, and so the cops think he's throwing fireballs at them or whatever.
Yeah,
I guess
was crazy, like a big explosion.
like Donkey Kong or something. I don't know. And then Bill doesn't help. He's down on the bottom. He goes, that's right, Dale. Show him who's boss.
Show him who's
what
boss.
the hell? And then there's these three guys that we've never seen. They are hiding behind a truck, and they say, one of the guys says, the police aren't trained for this. Let's go, gun club. So we already understand that all three of these guys are from the gun club.
Yeah.
The crowd is really scattering now. Peggy, of course, is behind a park bench taking pictures with her fun saver. I don't know when these fun savers get full,
I'm
but
not sure
she
either.
takes a lot of damn pictures. The guy says, let's go, gun club. And the other one says, but Dale's our president. He goes, I didn't vote for him. Dale now is shouting down from the tower in his best crazy man voice, I have a hostage, a Rusty Shackelford. And then he goes into Rusty's voice and goes, give him what he wants.
I am safe. I'm confirmed to be safe, guys.
There's a cop up there looking at the binoculars, and he goes, I can't see the hostage. Hank says, there's no hostage. Rusty Shackelford is a fake name he uses to order pizza with. He rides up on Dale's mower, and he goes, look, here's the mower. Cop moves Hank over to the cruiser, and he goes, this way, sir. Hank says, just tell him you've got the mower, that it's safe. The cop then over the thing says, we have your mower. Dale then says, I know that, Fidelio. I was right. These Cubans have my mower. Watch out. And then Hank says, oh, this is all my fault, to the cops. He screams at Dale, Dale, come down here before somebody gets hurt. And then Dale says, too late. I killed Rusty Shackelford.
Yeah. Killed his alter ego.
The cops all gasp, and they start pumping the guns. Dale sees that. He goes, no. Correction. Shackelford wants a pizza.
Yeah.
One of the cops says, what the hell is going on up there? And then Dale again, and I want my mower back with enough gas to get to Canada. What the?
Why not
how
Mexico?
How
long would it take him to get to Canada?
Well, that's what
on
I'm
a
saying.
mower
Why
from
not Mexico?
Texas?
And then the cops go, what does the book say? He goes, I don't know, maybe tear gas? These guys, they're just working out of a handbook.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, the policing from the handbook.
Yeah. Dale says, an apology. I want the CIA to sell off its Fantastic Sam's hairstyle and subsidiary. What?
Yeah,
the CIA is running Fantastic Sam's. They shoot a gas canister up at him. That thing starts going off. He sniffs it and he goes, is that all you got? I use stronger than this to kill squirrels. Cops look back at the manual. Boomhauer then comes over and he gets on the PA and he goes, hey, yo, Dale, man, come on, man. What you doing up there, man? I'll go crazy, man. Come on down, man. And then he hands the PA back to the cop. Dale up in the tower goes, Boomhauer, if I ever heard anyone reading a script, that was it. Really? Because Boomhauer's, hey, man, dang old crazy, man. Then
Sounds like you're reading from a script.
right, and then
yeah.
we
Can't
later
even
in
understand
the
what he's saying anyway.
right as the sun is starting to go down, it's getting later in the day. We see the cops putting on body armor and getting a like a serious gun out to go after him. Hank sees this and he goes, "Hey, wait! No, let me go up there. He'll listen to me." And Bill says, "Well, gee, Hank, I think you'd be the last person that Dale would want to kill them, or you'd be the one that Dale would want to kill the most."
Yeah.
Peggy says, "Hank, I love Dale too, but the Dale we knew no longer exists. Now there's just a bloodthirsty mad dog out to kill."
Kill,
Okay,
kill.
Peggy. Hank says, "Oh, officer, please let me go." The cop in the body armor says, "All right, if he starts freaking out, just duck and we'll shoot him in the head." Hank says, "Don't shoot him in the head." The guy says, "Oh, book says head." So they have to shoot him in the head. These are some crazy ass cops, by the way.
No,
that,
definitely some
that are
nutso
just letting
cops.
a guy go up there.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, this is pre-defunding
Yeah,
of
that's
Austin
true.
Police Department. So
That's true. So Hank starts to he is going up the stairs, going into the tower. He gets up there and he says, "Hey, Dale, it's Hank Hill, your friend. Our third grade teacher was Mr. St. George." And he
I
goes,
like how they're trying to appeal to his, you
Yeah.
know, bringing up all the, hey, you remember this memory,
Yep.
memory, come on down.
everybody
Don't do it.
on the ground is super nervous at
It's
this
almost like
point.
they're talking him down off of the ledge for suicide
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
Dale is so nervous up there. You see him just smoking like crazy. All the cigarettes over. All the cops down there have guns trained on the tower. He gets up there and he goes, "Oh, I knew it. There's no gun. You can all go home now. Drive safely." Like cops are just going to disperse.
Yeah. There isn't a whole issue with a canister he threw at him. I mean, there's some charges I'm sure that are going to come out of it.
Cops on the ground.
Maybe some 72-hour psych holds or something.
at least.
There's something coming from it. Yeah.
Cops on the ground on the PA is like,
This is TV.
yeah, that's true. We're not quite done here. Why don't you bring Mr. Sniper down and we'll talk this. Mr. Sniper, why don't you bring Mr. Sniper down and we'll talk this over?
Yeah.
Dale says, "No, that's their plan. One shot on the way down eliminates the Gribble problem. Then the Cuban robot soldiers have only Steve Wynn standing in their way." And them in Wichita. I don't know what he's saying about Wichita. I do know Steve Wynn is a guy who owns a casino in Vegas, so I'm not real sure what the connection is there. But obviously there's some sort of theory out there that ties Steve Wynn in Wichita to the Cubans. Hank says, "Dale, there are no robots and no Cubans." Dale says, "If there are no Cubans, how do you account for Desi Arnaz?" Do you know who Desi Arnaz is?
Desi Arnaz is the husband of
Lucy.
Lucille Ball. Yeah,
Weren't
I
they
Love
actually
Lucy.
really married?
And he was
Yeah.
Cuban.
Yeah, he was Cuban, actually. They were in a movie called The Long, Long Trailer, which was made, I believe, before I Love Lucy started. That was kind of their introduction to film and
Yeah.
media. And then that turned into I Love Lucy. The Long, Long Trailer is also referenced by They Might Be Giants, one of my all-time favorite groups, in one of their songs. So I just had to bring that up because if I don't get knowledge out of my head explodes. So he says, "Well, how do you account for Desi Arnaz?" Hank says, "Okay, well, there are Cubans, but they had nothing to do with this."
Yeah.
He goes, "All right, you want to know what happened? You got your mower. You were sort of acting like a jerk, and, well, I'm not proud of what I did, but..." And then you hear the sergeant come over the radio that they've given Hank, and he goes, "Mr. Hill, move 6 inches to your left to clear a path for the you-know-what into Mr. Gribble's head." The you-know-what.
The you know what.
He goes, No. Listen, Dale, we're the ones who took your mower. Bill, Boomhauer, and me, your friends. It was my idea. And Dale, it starts to sink in. He goes, "What are you saying?" And then you hear the sergeant again. "Mr. Hill, you dropped something. Don't you want to bend down?" They're still trying to just shoot the damn man in his head.
Oh, yeah. They're trying to kill him.
Hank says, "Cut it out, please, Dale. Come on, come down before you get yourself killed." He says, "I don't believe you. The only possible scenarios are Castro's escape sub or you
Castro's escape sub.
took.
I think it's a
and-
good joke.
And you would never betray me." And Hank's just like, "We took it, Dale. You wrote your name under the seat, called yourself a colonel. It was just a joke." He goes, "Hank, jokes start with knock knock or what do you get when you cross a... You know, you used to be on my list of trustables and it was a very short list. I wasn't even on the list." He drops to the floor. He's all depressed, obviously. He's still wearing his bug jumpsuit. He goes, "But now I just don't know. I guess you're not my friend." Hank says, "Dale, if I could do it again, I'd Wait, what the heck is this? I am too your friend. I'm as good a friend as a weirdo like you is ever going to have.
Yeah.
Now, come on. We're running out of time. Do you trust me or not? Dale finally gets up, and they're going to go back down to the ground. They're going to end all this. Dale says, "Attention, men in police suits. I have decided to trust your patsy, my good friend, Hank Hill." Peggy, you see her on the ground. Everything is so tense down there. She pushes Bobby back, gets in the way of that. You see an itchy trigger finger from one of the cops. He's just kind of, and one of the other cops goes, "Oh, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
Dale shouts, "I'm coming down. If you're going to shoot me, I want Bobby Hill to take the shot because Bobby will put me down clean."
Which is a reference to Bobby Hill's ability to shoot guns.
Not only, yeah, it is. And then Bobby is over there like trying to take the
He's trying to
rifle
take the
away
rifle
from the
out of
cop.
cop's hand. He actually goes to grab the rifle out of the cop's
And I
hand.
love zero hesitation from Bobby either.
Right, that's what I was going to say. He
No,
goes,
zero. He just
Bobby's
like
cold.
naturally just leans over to grab the gun
He
out
goes,
of
"If
his
you're going to
hands.
shoot me, I want Bobby Hill to take a shot." Bobby goes, "Okay." And he's just, that's it. He's,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he tries to go. Hank says, "Stay calm." They're coming down out of the tower. He goes, "Listen, Dale, if they were going to shoot you, they'd have done it already." He goes, "They want me to wet my pants for fear, but they're too late." So he's already wet his pants, I guess.
Yeah.
Cops are all trained on the tower on him. They are ready to shoot him in the head. When they're coming down, Hank looks across the street and sees a sniper on the roof. He goes, "Who's that?" And Dale goes, "Vigilante."
Vigilante.
Yeah. He goes, "Hank, there he is up on the roof. Hank, no. And then you hear a bullet shot. Hank jumps in front of Dale in slow motion and takes a bullet.
Takes a bullet for him.
Takes a bullet for Dale.
It's crazy.
He is definitely paid back
And I
for
want to let
taking his mower.
everybody know a bulletproof vest will not stop
Sure.
a police.
Well, it won't stop a hollow point or anything like that.
Well, from the rifle that the cop probably has and he's
Yes.
shooting from, the caliber that it is, it would pierce straight through a
Well,
body
not only
armor.
the caliber, but the
velocity of
velocity
the bullet.
and the distance and all that stuff. But anyway,
But he's lucky it's not a police round.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Well,
yeah,
he's
it's the
lucky it's a
guys from the gun
cartoon, yeah,
club.
not
Yeah.
real life.
Also note, kids, even if you are wearing your bulletproof vest, a bullet is still
Bullet's
hitting
still a
you,
bullet.
Bullet.
hitting you in the
Yeah.
chest.
It will
still
break
hurt.
your ribs.
Yes.
It will hurt you bad.
You just won't die.
You just probably won't die.
So he immediately Hank goes down in a clump and into Dale's lap, and he goes, "Oh, don't die! Oh God, you're dying!
I love this part right here.
I'll never
So funny.
forget you, Hank. I'll bury you in my backyard."
I'll dedicate my life to propane, and don't you worry about Peggy. I'll keep Bill away from her.
Hank starts to rouse. He starts to come back, and he goes, "I'm fine, Dale. But if you're serious about the propane, I got some pamphlets." He goes, "You're fine. You're wearing a bulletproof vest. You thought I was going to shoot you." He goes, "Well, that or simply spray me with poisonous chemicals. I thought you'd kill yourself right after." He says, "I would have too."
Yeah.
That's the way it ends. So as far as charges go, I think you've got some coming for Dale. You've also got some coming for that damn sniper.
Oh,
You might have some coming
the gun
for
club
Bobby.
Shooters, the gun club shooter, they should go to jail.
Well, I'm saying
for a long time.
you might have one coming for Bobby where he's trying to grab the rifle out of this guy's hands. I mean, it's a cluster F if you ever ask me. While the credits are going, we hear, "Can you mow your lawn in a hurricane?" "Nope, didn't think so." And that is it.
That's a great one.
That is the end of episode 20, season 3, episode 20, Dog Dale Afternoon. You want to tell people where they can find us if they want more of this nonsense?
If you guys want more of this pure, unadulterated nonsense, you could go to BWAAAKOTH on all social media platforms. Again, I apologize to everybody on Twitter, but again, I apologize to y'all in a grander sense. I have been super lazy with our social media accounts, and I'm going to remedy that, and I'm going to start hopefully producing more content for you guys and stuff, and just getting better about updating you on when the next show's coming, what show's coming, that kind of stuff. I've been a little lackadaisical with it, and I know I need to step that up a little bit because it reflects. So again, thank you for everybody that continues to listen to us. You can find us on Linktree, linktr.ee/BWAAAKOTH. There will be more lives coming for you guys. We've been live for a couple hours now on Twitter, Instagram. We kind of bounced around till we found one that worked. Twitter was giving me issues, so we was on Instagram most of the day. But keep an eye out for those things because I have a new phone, which was kind of stopping me from being able to do it before. I have a new phone, so I'm going to be able to do. I'm gonna be able to do lives. My content, I'll be able to make more content and stuff like that too. Having this new phone, we'll see what I come up with or what we can do. If you guys have any ideas for the social media, please let us know what you want to see and what kind of content that I can create for you guys that you guys would appreciate and want to see. So,
yeah, absolutely. And I just want to take a chance to tell everybody thank you.
Sure. It's crazy.
This has been a crazy ride, and we really do appreciate all of our listeners and any of you guys that interact with us. So also, we make a ton of other podcasts, one of them being Producer Mason's Bibliophobia, all about books. His first episode is out. Actually, when this comes out, I would imagine your second episode is out. What is the second episode, Mason? I know the first one was Stephen King's The Mist.
The second one, we read a couple Stephen King short stories.
Very nice, very nice. He's got some guests and things like that on. Great show. Would encourage you to go to roguemedianetwork.com and listen to it. He's got some great stuff, and we've got some other great shows there as well.
Yeah, he does. There's a lot of great content. I've been listening to the Waco History podcast here as of late with all the new updates about the crossroads.
Well, we are at the end, and I, again, just thank you to everybody who's here and everybody who will be with us next time, and we will see you again on a That Ain't Right Friday.
That ain't right.
Bye, guys.
Montagne.
Oui, Montagne.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.